Hello, everybody. Welcome to World 101 Podcast. I am your host, Eddie B. Thank you guys for joining me. Alongside me is the red velvet Nordic beast himself.
Oh, I'm a wet Nordic beast? What the fuck?
You're wet. A wet beast. Mr. Larry Gibber.
Can we start calling Adrian a wet maple?
Instead of a wet...
Maybe he's a maple back. That's it. He's a maple back.
Yes! We have hit the mother load for 2017. We have begun this year off right. He's gonna be like, what? Cause see, I was about to say the other thing, and then I stopped myself. I was just like, hold on, wait. Let me see if Derek's gonna say it first. Okay, maple back. Let's go with that. Yes. So we love you, Adrian. And Sir Tony and Adrian can be with us on this episode, but it's the new year. So happy New Year's to all our listeners. Thank you guys for, supporting World 101 throughout 2016 here on our podcast, joining us on different questions on the forum, which we'll probably, we'll let you guys know more about later on in the show. But how are you, Derry? How you doing?
I'm good. I've actually gotten to play fucking games over the last 2 weeks. It's strange and foreign, but it's nice. So, I've been actually Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I finished. I blitzed all the way through Super Hot, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a bizarre puzzle shooter. Is the best explanation. The story is strange beyond belief, and if I tried to tell any more, I would just ruin it. Other than that, I've been playing through a good hunk of The Witness. I started out with more conviction than I've ended up with when it comes to The Witness. I like The Witness. I do. I like it a lot. However, I started out being very determined that I was going to figure it all out. No walkthrough, no help. And I've made a few modifications to that at this point. I'm standing by the fact that so long as I've at least come to understand a mechanic sufficiently, if I've hit a puzzle where I'm just beating my head on a wall in frustration, so long as I at least understand the base mechanics, I've come to be okay with looking for a solution, because I actually want to finish it and experience it and see where it goes. So I'm coming to grips with that, and I'm okay with that. I will say I was really, really impressed. However, I've hit a point where I'm finally going to call some bullshit on The Witness. There's a section of puzzles that don't quite match up with everything else, because all the other puzzles are all based on these rule sets, and I'm cool with that. They're very clever in that regard. However, there's one section of puzzles where those rules, none of that figures into it. It's all in just the angle in which you're looking at the puzzle and trying to get the light to reflect off it in the exact right way. And it's kind of shoddily done, which is a shame, because that at this point has really been the only big damper on the experience for me. Other than that, it's been really solid, but that batch of puzzles was bullshit. So yeah, the visuals do not quite do enough justice to that section of puzzles to make it passable. It kind of reminds me of that last puzzle in Fez where the answer didn't actually make any fucking sense, and it was just a matter of brute forcing your way through it.
Oh, wow.
So I was a little saddened by that. But that aside, everything else in The Witness is really neat. I like stumbling across some of the environmental puzzles. I'm hoping that most of them are reasonably obvious enough and not so super obscure as to piss me off. But the logic behind most of it makes sense. And that's an impressive thing to do for that many puzzles and mechanics. And I screamed like a little giddy schoolgirl when I came across James Burke as a bonus in The Witness. Because James Burke is fucking awesome. If you don't know who he is, go look him up and go look up an old series called Connections.
Connections. Why do I don't remember that?
Go look it up. It's old as shit. It's on YouTube and it's cool as hell. But in any case, so working on powering through The Witness. Been fiddling with a couple of other things off and on, like some Castle Crashers just for fun. And I keep getting sucked back into Geometry Wars 2, actually. So I've almost thrown a controller a couple times trying to get one achievement on Geo Wars 2. It's just not quite getting there. I was like 4% off of getting the achievement this morning, and I mucked it up. It's like, God damn it. But in any case, so yeah, that's what's been cooking there. I've been playing anything else? Oh, I got to dink with Firewatch some too. Firewatch is excellent, what I've played of it so far. That'll probably be the next thing that I actually finish once I finish The Witness.
Well, yeah, because Firewatch is like a walking simulator. So, like Gone Home and stuff. So it don't seem like it's too hard or anything. I think you'll be able to finish it within the 5 to 6 hour setting, I think, 3 to 5 hour.
That wouldn't surprise me, but holy shit, the beginning of that was depressing too. Like, I know I talked about it earlier, several months ago with Ori and the Blind Forest.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what the fuck is it with things in depressing openings these days? This shit started with Up. Fuck you, Disney and Pixar, for Up. Because you started this shit, and then Ori, and now Firewatch, and god damn it, stop it.
It's the dramatic feel. They want to make the character feel emotions. You like F your emotions.
But no, Firewatch is good. The storytelling, the voice acting, the delivery is all spot on excellent so far. So,
that's good.
But in any case, yeah, that was it. I had a couple days to kind of veg and do not much of anything. I took Thursday and Friday off of work because they were sticking needles in my spine on Thursday, so that was great fun. Let me tell you, anesthetic does not play well with me. That was an experience, but completely unrelated. So, in any case, but yeah, that's a whole lot of what I've been playing.
Oh, I've been playing Rise of the Tomb Raider for PlayStation 4. I already beat it on Xbox One, so I'm just playing it on PS4. Like, just trying to see the difference and stuff on it. I still have more that I need to install on my PS4 from Black, because I'm like kind of installing all my Black Friday stuff that I brought. So I have like Deus Ex.
You got it Black Friday, man. Why you got to take this to a race place?
Because I'm. You know me. I'm always
Put that card back in the deck, motherfucker.
I'm always racially charged. Look, if you listen to some of my other podcasts that I do, I talked about Red Dead Redemption too, and I was just like, look, I'm sorry to say this, and I don't care who ever takes it the wrong way, but this game is for white folks. Ain't no black folk on this thing that I know of has tweeted or really lose their mind over Red Dead Redemption 2. It's all these white folks. And that's how I think that's the same way people who complained about Metroid Prime, the same people who complained about No Man's Sky. Just like, what are y'all complaining for? It's all these, like, Negroes complaining for other stuff.
Yeah, I do think there is a distinct cultural divide in certain segments of gaming genres, though, if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think it's anything intentional. I just think it's a cultural segmenting that just happens. Case in point, a lot of the Metroidvania stuff. Go back to Symphony of the Night. Like you said, Metroid Prime, Ori and the Blind Forest. It's going to sound a little insensitive, but the shades of people picking those up were probably a little on the light side.
Yeah, a bunch of white people. Let's call a spade a spade. It's a bunch of white people. Because when it comes,
Yeah, no, it is. I just, it's one of those things. It's weird. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm willing to bet you probably felt like you stuck out like a sore thumb at the Blue October show a couple months ago too.
actually, I did
It's
see
a
another
little,
black. I
it's a
actually,
little light at those shows.
I actually seen another black person there, so I didn't feel stuck out. Now, I would say I was dressed unlike everybody else. Cause when I do concerts, I gotta go. My outfit has to be right. Like, I would literally go out and buy a new outfit just for that one concert. I did it for the movies. Heck, I did it to go see Fast and the Furious, and I'm sitting in a dark movie theater.
God.
But cause it's just like everybody's in this rock outfit or they party outfit, and here I am looking like I work at JCPenney or something. Like, I work at a retail store ready to sell some clothes. Like, really somewhat proper.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
No, I do think maybe this is this is like a deep research, deep thought subject that we need to get into one of these days.
Yes.
But I feel like we should absolutely have Adrian here for that one, though.
And
I think we need to fill out the racial roster a little bit.
and I'm not saying that
Adrian's great though. Adrian's like a race card twofer.
That is true. That is true. Playing the race card. That's gonna probably be the title of this game. A 52 deck of race cards. But I mean, with the Blue October, because I enjoyed myself. That Blue October concert was amazing. Just I had so much fun with it. But I wasn't dressed like everybody else. And so my dressing attire was different than everybody else. Yes, this is a video game podcast, and we'll get back.
We'll get back to it.
But I was literally dressed to the T. I mean, I had jeans and my tennis shoes and stuff like that. But like, my top was just like a V-neck sweater with a dress shirt and a tie, like very looking properish. Here is somebody else wearing like a rock and roll Meth Dedo t-shirt and stuff. I'm like, it's like 35 degrees outside right about now.
Oh yeah. So, so I've got something I've been sitting on for about 3 fucking weeks for this show. Because we didn't have a show last week, and that may or may not have been attributed to my drinking one night at a friend's party.
You was having fun. You had a little bit too much fun.
I may or may not have been asked to leave, but we're not going there. But in any case, I had a thought that, like I said, I've been sitting on this for a couple weeks to share. And I haven't even shared this with any of them in the Facebook chat that we keep going for the 4 of us for the show. But we're bringing back Here's the Pitch. So I've got this brilliant idea, because Valve doesn't know how to count to fucking 3. We've already discussed this.
Yes.
We got as far as Half-Life 2. We got as far as Half-Life Episode 2. We got as far as Portal 2. Left 4 Dead 2. We will never get a 3 for any of them. But maybe Valve can fucking count backwards. So here's my thought. Since we're never going to see a Portal 3, and maybe that's not a bad thing either, because maybe they did everything that could and should be done with that mechanic. Instead, we can still enjoy the wonderful world of Aperture Science with the new game from Valve, Aperture Science. It's a prequel to the Portal series that takes place in the heyday of the Aperture Labs, with Cave Johnson still alive, with his secretary, who would eventually become Gladys, and actually, playing as some of the test subject schlubs that were talked about in the pre-recorded sections in Portal 2, and, actually being the test subject for some of the cool shit that they were working on, that you got, hints of in Portal 2 towards the end there, just to see what all was happening in that lab, when it was actually running the way that it was supposed to back in the day. I think that'd be neat, and we'll just call it Aperture Science.
I'm down for that. But the question I have is Valve even ready to make another video game? I don't think they made one in, what, 7, 8 years? I think Half-Life Episode 2 was the last one they did? Or was it Portal 2?
No. Portal 2 would have been last.
Because Left 4 Dead 2 was already out before Portal 2. Okay.
Portal 2 was the last one they put out.
Because I think they figured that they just make too much money on Steam and whatever that controller is. If you want to call it a controller.
Yeah. It is a shame that Valve has stopped doing games. It really is. I'm all for, and that's the other thing. Holy crap, I can't begin to fathom how running Steam is taking up so much of their fucking time, because it's not like they're putting any work into fucking quality control on that store.
Oh, heck no.
Jesus.
Well, it's weird, because there's Steam Greenlight, and then there's, I guess, AAA Steam. Like, people like EA and Square Enix, and some of the indies put in their games on there. So it's kind of weird on how that system even works. And I don't use Steam or anything like that. I mean, I have no problem against it. I really don't care for the platform, since I get most of my games on console and ready to go. I just don't understand, like, there's just something about Valve that I just don't get at times. Just like, you guys started out as a developer.
This started out as a brilliant developer, too.
I mean, people were buying your game Half-Life. People bought up Left 4 Dead 2, bought up Team Fortress, bought up Portal 2. Like, they were selling a lot of they don't have that many titles to their names, but everything they released, people were buying them.
I want to know what happened to all the poor people that were actually developing these games at Valve Studios.
I have a feeling they left.
That's about the only explanation at this point, because you don't sit for, unless you're fucking Team Eco, you don't sit for 7, 8 years twiddling your thumbs doing nothing. But what are you going to do? But speaking of Steam, some stuff coming up. It is up on, I believe, Greenlight. It's either Greenlight or Early Access, and somebody can kick me in the teeth later if I got it wrong. But a little bit of a throwback. I know I've talked some about some old PC point-and-click adventure games on several occasions. In particular, a favorite of mine from my childhood was the Journeyman Project series. Think very much in the vein of like Myst HyperCard adventure game, but it's all time travel based. My introduction to this series, and I won't go deep on this for a reason, but my introduction to this series was back when I first, my family got our first PC, and it was a Hewlett Packard, and Journeyman Project Turbo was in the little software suite that came with it, and I was hooked. Well, that game eventually saw a remake, director's cut, however you want to call it, called Pegasus Prime. Pegasus Prime was originally only released in the States on Mac, but is now available across the board for Windows as well. Right now via goodoldgames.com, and also coming up, it is seeing release on Steam. Mm-hmm. And the reason I mention it is that the fine folks behind that will be joining us on the show to coincide with that release as that comes up on Steam. So for those that have not checked it out, I absolutely recommend it. This promotion is not paid for. I actually have a personal love for this series. You can actually get all 3 games bundled together on Good Old Games. And like I said, the re-release of Pegasus Prime, which if you're going to play the beginning of this series, Pegasus Prime is the way to do it. The original, as much love as I have for it, did not age terribly well. So yeah, pick up all three of those and give them a play. You will have fun. They get better and better as they go. We are very excited that they will be joining us in the coming months when Pegasus Prime hits Steam. Also, just to touch on some other things coming up not next weekend, but the weekend after, the fine folks behind AM2R are going to be joining us, Milton and Sabra, a.k.a. Steve, and I may have just gotten that wrong, and if I did, you can hit me on the show later. But in any case, they'll be joining us in a couple of weeks, too, to talk about some of the post-mortem on what happened with AM2R and what anything that game has of a future at this point. So that's a thing coming as well. We've got a few other things cooking for early 2017 for you guys as well. So keep your eyes and ears peeled, but those are just a couple things coming up. A few other things aren't quite locked down yet, so I'm not going to mention them, but if we get them to work and get them a go, then I think you'll all be in for some pleasant surprises.
Yes. I know the AM2R one is going to kind of be big because it's going to be like a lot of questions, and they'll probably be like, these nerds, but it's going to be like, no, they got love and respect for us. It's like, yeah. Like,
oh, yeah.
So.
And a huge fucking shout out to Jonathan Holmes for actually helping piece that together and making that happen.
Yay.
He went out of his way to make that happen. So much love to Holmes for that. But yeah, that's so there's my Here's the Pitch. There's a little bit about what's coming. A couple things that you should all go check out. God, what else is going on these days? Yeah. No, lots. I've been spending a lot of time with Twitch lately too. That's a weird fascination that I don't know.
With the witness and stuff.
But in any case, what else have you had cooking, Eddie? It's been 2 weeks. What the hell?
Just been planning my stuff out for my other podcast, and like I said, installing stuff for Xbox One. Getting ready for the Nintendo Switch reveal. I gotta kind of get my day together for that to find out all the news and make sure that all the podcasts and stuff is ready. Hopefully, we'll be ready to record that day. Like later on that night, and see what it says. Gaming wise or anything else wise, nothing major just yet. I've been trying to finish some of my backlog stuff and start some other things up. And I still got to go to GameStop and buy some Barbie games because that's the first feature for this month. And you should smack yourself. And I'll explain why. I kind of want to experience some Barbie games, and this is more research based on my part than anything else, to understand how their
it's research all you want. I call bullshit.
I want to understand their design, and like we as older males and stuff, like we don't buy none of these games, and we don't look forward to playing any of them, even if it's for reviews.
I don't,
stuff.
But apparently you do.
I'm going to get you when I come down
You're
there.
the one saying you're gonna go buy them.
Yes, and I'm trying to explain why. And this
I know it's way more fun if I just screw with you about this.
Pretty much, yes. It wouldn't be no different. No, but I feel like that it's something definitely for me as a gamer that I kind of want to visit. Because throughout this year for 2017, I kind of want to visit games that I wouldn't touch and understand, come better familiarized with a lot of genres and a lot of topics that don't normally get talked about. So, yeah, we don't play the Barbie games and stuff like that. But yet they continue to come out, and I don't know how the sale figures are for that. So I just kind of want to understand how these games are made. Why do they only cater to girls? And is it just is it a stereotypical thing? Is it an easy gift for you to get a girl who wants to play video games? Or do you believe that games like these that don't present no challenge are suitable for girls? And what is the fear of not giving them a challenging game? Like, why not give them something like Metroid AM2R and let them try to figure stuff out? Why can't we not give younger girls something like that? Why is it that they deserve Barbie games and sometimes maybe not well-designed Barbie games in that feature? So I want to explore that, and I kind of want to discuss it on Optional Opinion. I kind of want to see where does it take me and stuff like that. Because like I said, I still want to buy style savvy fashion. I want to understand why this game that some people just ignore might actually be good, and it might be good for some males who want to get into the fashion industry. So let's understand how a game that's designed around fashion, how does that work with males and stuff like that?
I think you're going to find yourself sorely disappointed with that. But if you want to go into a fashion, centric game for guys, you can go crack out a copy of The World Ends With You.
Oh, that is right. Shoot, that's if I could find a copy. That mug disappeared like everywhere.
I know, it's criminal. That needs a reprint like stat. But in any case, so it's now officially closed. I've re-shared it and posted it for several weeks now. And sadly Adrian is not here because one of his nominees actually won. Where we're talking about our 2016 Game of the Year stuff. So I have the nominees in front of me, and I have the winners in front of me. Starting with the nominees for our very first ever 2016 World 1-1 Podcast Game of the Year awards. The nominees for the prestigious Golden Warp Pipe Award this year were Titanfall 2.
Yes!
Xenoblade Chronicle X.
Yes!
AM2R.
Yes!
And Yooka-Laylee the Demo. And if you've paid any attention, you already know where this is going.
But before you get into your reveal, and before you make any announcements, let's break it down in a quick sense on why these 4 games got nominated from each person. So I'm going to explain Tony and Adrian's point of view, and then you can explain AM2R. I'll explain Titanfall 2.
I don't even need to explain that shit. I've talked about this.
Let's give them let's give them a refresh. So even though Yooka-Laylee was a demo, Adrian believed that it was such fun that it should be on this list. He got a lot of enjoyment. It kind of felt like almost a little bit of the game. So kind of a sandbox thing. So if you think Disney Infinity Toy Box, kind of like it's finished, but it just gives you an idea. So he just wanted
kind of a toy box, yeah.
Yeah. So he counted it as that, and we accepted it. That was because he couldn't make a decision, so we went with that. Tony put about 600 plus hours into Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is a fantastic game. I would have chosen that myself, but due to the fact that I had to choose something else, and we would try to do 2016, but there's just so many games that all of us didn't play, and so we left it open to 2015 also. So Tony put
just the tail end of, anyways.
Yes. So,
which that will not happen again for 17, by the way.
Look, if the Game Awards could do it for The Witcher 3, we could do it for World 1-1.
Better.
Huh?
We're not the Game Awards. We're better. We have integrity. We're not officially sponsored by anyone, so shut up.
We're not sponsored by the Gillette Man. Oh,
The Schick Hydrobot.
Oh, whatever that crap was. That was ridiculous.
For the record, I still believe that Jim Sterling had the greatest spoof of the Schick Hydrobot ever. Because if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. He made a beautiful parody of that. Said that if the Game Awards can be sponsored by the Schick Hydrobot, the Jimquisition Awards can be sponsored by the Cornflakes Homunculus. And it was fantastic.
I wish a lot of people did use that shtick or shtick, whatever it is, because they beers just like, look, y'all coming on stage with all these beers and not one of y'all bit shaved, like not really, but the show is sponsored by that. So
about that.
Yeah. So
anyway,
that was Tony's nomination, was Xenoblade Chronicles X. He put a lot of, which is a great game, fantastic, I still say. I'll stand by him, and I'm happy that he did nominate that. So let's go into your nomination, Larry. AM2R.
I'm not going to go real deep just because I've talked way too much about it over the last 5 months, and they're going to be on the show in 2 weeks with us. But AM2R stands not only as my game of the year, but it now stands in a very proud place as my all-time favorite game, replacing the original Metroid 2. Like I said, it was done with so much love and care and reverence for the series and that particular entry into the series. So yeah, that's the little tidbit that I'm going to talk about with that, without going overboard and ruining some of the things that I want to get into in a couple weeks, with those fine folks when they come on. And then your nominee was Titanfall DOS.
Yes, Titanfall 2, which is my game of the year for, nomination for game of the year for 2016. It's the most Nintendo X designed game. Every level, every shooting. If you guys are part of the World 1-1 forum on podcast, sorry about that. That Fanta grape, that Fanta orange pop just does wonders. But I love the cherry flavor.
You're black, grape drinker. Get the fuck out.
What you talking about? Oh, because I'm black. It's a grape drink. Really? Because I'm black.
Race card back in the deck.
Oh, I love that. and the thing about it is, why did I get super black on you? Which is like, really, a grape drink? Grape, really?
Can that be the sequel to Super Hot? We can have a new game called Super Black.
Oh, I love that. Super Black. I can't with you at the moment. I just can't at you. Titanfall 2. Great level design. The way that game is made, just I screamed and shouted, and just like Larry, I'm not gonna go more into it. I feel like they need to do another. If they ever decide to do another Metroid Prime game, Respawn needs to do it. I love Retro Studios, but let Retro Studios make something completely different and let Respawn do the next Metroid game. So that was my nomination. So now that's that all out the way, and Super Black, the sequel to Super Hot, is in production by some indie developer. Reveal who our winner is.
Sadly not a whole lot of voting, but it did pull out ahead. AM2R did in fact win out with the little bit of love that went into the voting on this. And again, I do think that some of the voting had to do with the fact that there are some changes happening on the Facebook side in terms of where things are coming from, and obviously that's not going to be an issue for 17, but we're growing, and some growing pains will happen. But either or, AM2R did come out ahead and is the proud winner of the first ever prestigious World 1-1 podcast, Golden Warp Pipe Award for Game of the Year.
Congratulations to AO2R, to the guys that who created AO2R. Congratulations on the win. It really deserves. I would say it really deserves the not only the nomination, it deserves the award. Because this, as much as I love Titanfall 2 and as much as I love Xenoblade Chronicles, this was a passion project that they worked very hard on. I'm sad that they got DMCA for it, but you know, they put a lot of heart and a lot of work into this, and their efforts need to be rewarded and paid. And the game is really is good. I still haven't played it, but just our discussions, Larry, just seeing people like play it and stuff, I'm just like, these guys put their heart and everything into this game, and I'm sad that they got. I'm even sad that they got taken off the nominee vote for
Hydro Awards.
Exactly. But I'm so glad that they did win. Like, we gave them this award, so congratulations to them. I hope they do continue when they come on the show. I hope they're making some original project, and hopefully they get it on Nintendo's platform. If not, put it on PC, Steam, or whatever. Like, someone really help these guys make their dream come true on their next project. I should say. But congratulations to them. Congratulations to you, Larry, for the nominations and win. Your nomination winning. Yay!
So now we get into the nitty gritty. This is the not so fun part.
Oh, I should have.
That's okay. So, on the flip side of the coin, while there's a best of the year, it also means too that there's a worst of the year, and we wanted to take a slightly different approach. We didn't want to just say it. This was hands down the worst game of the year. We wanted to take something a little more constructive away from this. And so it is with great displeasure that I present to you the nominees for the first ever World 1-1 podcast, far less prestigious Rusty Wrench Award, so that the winner can fix their shit next time they put out a new game.
I still love this title. It's still I still love that title.
So we've got 3 nominees up. First of was Recore, actually. And that I put Recore out there, and don't get me wrong, I've had fun with Recore. I did. But it's got some distinct issues. I take great issue with the waypoint system, and some of the obligatory collectathon bullshit that they put you through. It just felt unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
But it's certainly not the worst thing to come out of this year. But again, that's not what we were steering for. You know, these are things where there was some potential, and there still is some potential. It needs to be massaged out a little bit in a second effort. The second nominee in the list, I believe, was yours, was Uncharted 4, A Dirty Rotten Thief's End.
This game, as much as good as this, I can't even just talk about this horrible game. As much as good as this look, this game has no substance. It's way too long. It pulls off the same on, okay, guess what? We'll do 80% flashback and then 20% for the rest of the game. And it's boring garbage. It's beautiful garbage at that, but it's boring. It has no substance. It does the same cliches that the Uncharted series is known for. It's not very cinematic, because there's just some things to be like, you should have literally been dead by 16,000 of these set pieces that you put in this boring long game. So, yeah, it's I wish I could just throw Overwatch in also into this category, but it's too late for that. But yeah, Uncharted.
You know what? I'm going to say something here. On the back of something that was mentioned to me a couple weeks ago, and I'm not going to call it a resolution because I don't do that bullshit. But I do want to, on the back of something that was said, I do want to actually make an attempt to crack into a MOBA, and I may check out Overwatch at some point in 17. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not a shooter person. Dear God, I'm not an online multiplayer shooter person. But I there's clearly fucking something there, and kind of in the vein of what you're doing with your Barbie's Wild Horse Equestrian in My Butt adventure.
That better not be the title.
Oh God. Well, hell, anything to do with equestrian. If you've never seen it, Lewis Black has a great bit about that.
Oh.
Talks about it. He was dating a woman that was, into horse shows and stuff, and not that kind.
Hold on, wait. Is that the episode? Is that the special where he was at a restaurant and the woman was talking about her horse or something?
He's basically talking about the fact that he's sitting there at this horse show, and like, how do you judge that? He's like, at this point, I'm just looking at it going, if he doesn't trip over that thing, he's a winner.
I love Lewis Black. I love his specials.
But in any case, but no, I do want to crack into a MOBA just for a little bit, and maybe at least wrap my head around it a little bit. But
once we get done with this portion of the award, I have a big question that I want to ask you and get your opinion on. So
no, I will not marry you. I'm already taken.
But I want your meatballs.
So in any case, but back to the nominees here. We've got ReCore, Uncharted 4, and the final nominee that was actually put up by both Tony and Adrian, because Adrian bitched that he couldn't nominate a fucking controller for worst thing of the year.
Okay, and I don't understand. Okay, Adrian, when you listen to this, a PS4 controller, really? I know that you have a displeasure for certain things, but a controller is a game of the year. You can't do controller of the year. Now, we can have a discussion about accessories. We can make that a theme and talk about it on World 1-1 when you come back. But we can't nominate a controller for a game.
So, but the final nominee on the list, though, was Mighty Number 9, which saw numerous delays, finally saw release this year. And not only did it see release, it saw a lot of
backlash,
critical failure, backlash, hate, problems.
And it makes you cry like a anime boy on prom night.
Yeah, that too. Let's not even talk about that one. But in any case, here's a game with just every questionable choice that could have been made was made with this project.
Mm-hmm.
The choice of animation style, the choice to make the fucking end credits longer than the game, just absolutely baffling. And it did not deliver. And on the back of that commentary, we are announcing that the first ever winner of the far less prestigious Rusty Wrench Award is, in fact, Mighty Number 9. So it's not to say that we don't ever want you to do anything again. Quite the opposite. We want you to put out another game, but we want to give you this Rusty Wrench so that you can fix your shit when you do it. So the best of luck to the Mighty Number 9 crew in their future endeavors. I can only finish this with saying, "Thank you, come again."
And once again, the race card gets played.
Oh God, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking about the Simpsons at that point. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we can make 52 race jokes by the end of the show now.
Oh goodness, that we have to plan that out for another day. The question
that would take some serious effort. Shit,
exactly, because we would have to hit like
that's like a race joke a minute.
Shoot, and we have to hit like almost every race known to man. Country races that we know of, but we don't know how to stereotype them. So we'll just make up some goofy language, like when we talk. Well,
just get pissed off about shit that nobody gets pissed off about. And I know I'm totally stealing a joke, and only one other person that listens to this show will recognize it. But shout out to that person. You know, get racist about shit that nobody gets racist about. Like fucking Swedish with their goddamn candied fish.
Oh my goodness. And I just had some Swedish fish like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, those things are awful.
Oh, I love them. They're so good.
Oh, those are terrible.
Really? Is it the taste for you?
Taste, texture, all of it. It's awful.
What about gummy bears?
Almost kind of depends on what brand.
Is it Hasbro?
Haribo?
Haribo?
Or Haribo or whatever it is. Yeah, those are okay. I was a bigger fan of the Sour Patch stuff, but that's a different subject. Anyways, minor shout out to, or minor is not the right word by any means, but shout out to a wonderful friend of mine. I was gifted a lovely 8-bit Link amiibo to adorn my collection with.
Nice.
He's totally fucking awesome. I gotta say though, if you ever pick one of these up, look at his nose. It will creep you out.
I have one.
It's like 1 block longer than it should be, and I don't know why.
I have one. I had to just look at it. I wonder was that the way that it was designed, and
I don't know. But in 3D, that nose is too long, and it's weird.
Oh wow,
it's fucking weird.
I actually have all the Link amiibos, the Ocarina of Time and the Wind Waker one, and 8-bit.
The 8-bit one was the only one that I wanted. I didn't care about the others.
Well, the question, because we brought up Overwatch and your interest or of trying it out, not saying that you're gonna like get into it, but trying it out. I posted a question about this on Twitter about how come people complain about Titanfall 1 being multiplayer only and people losing their crap about it, but then Overwatch comes out and it's completely accepted. Like, they're both arena shooters, and Titanfall, yes, even though that's class based and it's I guess a mobile game. I don't know how. I just see it as an online shooter because pretty much like Borderlands 2 could be almost on the same boat. It's just that Borderlands 2 has a story and it's only 4 players.
Maybe that has something to do with it too. You know, granted, the first Titanfall didn't really have anything story-wise either.
Right.
But, and again, it's not one that I dove into very much, but as I understand it, and I'm hoping to understand a little more, you know, Overwatch has a lot of personality driven into their characters, versus Titanfall where, you know, here, outfit a mech and go shoot stuff. You know, there's not a lot of diversity in that. I think the personality or lack thereof could have a lot to do with that too. So, but maybe in the coming months I'll find that out a little more.
Well, shoot, people are Overwatch, as good as it's sold and people claim it as the game of the year. I think it's a game that kind of upset a lot of people. One of the characters they made gay, and
Tracer.
Folks got mad about that. some issues with some people cheating, and it was
Oh,
just
shock! Online multiplayer game with cheating, because that's never happened to any game before ever.
well, Blizzard banning them forever and stuff like that. Like I was looking at some news stories about this
I'd be
stuff
okay with that.
of being banned forever.
Yeah, I am totally okay with cheating assholes getting permabanned.
Well, I thought that normally happens in online games if they found out that you're cheating. But Microsoft was a big problem because it was just like folks who weren't cheating were getting reported, and then Microsoft banned their account, and they had to go go through a review process to get their account back or something.
Yeah, no idea. Like I said, I'm not anywhere near that community right now to know what the hell's going on with that. But that's another thing too that I don't get. And again, maybe I will have to look a little deeper. Is the community for like Overwatch seems to only go to Overwatch. It does not transcend anything else. Versus where you've got like the speedrun community, there's so many games that this community digs into.
Yes.
And it's fascinating to me in that regard that the MOBA community sticks to like one MOBA and whichever is yours of choice, and does not wander away from it at all, versus going, I love MOBAs and, I'm going to fucking get down with all of them. It's, I love MOBAs. You need to play Overwatch. I love MOBAs. You need to play,
League of Legends.
Yeah. It's just, it's a very strange thing, and,
probably
as to what drives that.
Do you think it could be dominance? Like you're so focused on this one game that you learn the ins and outs, and you're able once you be able to dominate in the game and make yourself feel good because of your skill is at such a high level. You don't want to learn anything else because you feel like someone's going to take your spot if you leave.
But even still, turn around and look at the speedrun community.
Yes.
You watch them and they learn how many different games, the minute ins and outs and details of how many different games, and perfect them all.
Right.
So it's a weird cultural divide inside of our own weird little culture of games.
Well, I see it as the speedrunners give themselves a challenge, which makes learning and playing different games enjoyable because it's a goal that they're trying to reach and how they attempt to get that goal. Whereas in MOBAs, it's just your one goal is just to be, in my opinion, to be dominant and to being that one best player. And if you're not that best player, you're going to force yourself to be the best player. Like, you don't care about speed runs and stuff like that. You just want to be like, I want to be the top, I want to be the best, and that's all to it. So they don't really give themselves a challenge because their challenge they do give themselves a challenge. Their challenge is to be perfect and make sure that no one else could be on that level of perfection.
There may be something to that. So, but in any case, I think I've covered about everything I had to cover for the last couple of weeks, which just goes to show that I should have had more going on, but didn't. So yeah, that's what's shaking. I'm still working on some final details, getting that locked down for our very first giveaway to celebrate the new Facebook page and the new year. So other news and announcements. Because he's not here to plug his shit, on the NBC Video Game Book Club. For the month of January, we are, in a fashion, revisiting a crowd favorite. We'll be doing the Plague Knight campaign from Shovel Knight. So at this point, if you have any iteration of Shovel Knight, you do have Plague Knight. Just finish the Shovel Knight campaign, and Plague Knight is accessible. We are also unofficially doing a little bit of a speed run race. See who can make it through the fastest in game time through Plague Knight. So that's the thing that's happening. iTunes feed, with any luck, in the next couple weeks, finally, as some things are settling. I've actually got some articles and ideas rattling around in my head that may actually make it onto binary paper for the Facebook page in the next couple weeks. So some articles hopefully coming out. What else is going on? You will find us on, or you'll find me at least on Twitch every once in a while broadcasting out. Like I said, lately I've been working on The Witness. Lord only knows where we go from there. Maybe Firewatch is next. But you'll find us on Twitch at World11 Podcast. All one word, all spelled out, because goddamn Twitch username restrictions.
Yep.
Other than that, we're in all the usual spots on archive.org. The new Facebook page. Click the like button. Get our content in your feed. It's just that easy. For those that want to go a little bit deeper, we were looking to get the community growing throughout 2017 on the podcast forum page there, the group page. Join in and join the conversation. Meanwhile, you'll also see our stuff show up along with Eddie's other show, Optional Subpinion or something like that.
You know what? I'm going to deep throat you when I get a chance. Optional opinion. What kind of? Oh, that's so Asian. that's so broke.
Yes, I got another race joke in. One more.
I love you so much.
But in any case, so yeah, check out Optional Opinion, and you'll also find our stuff in that feed as well too.
Which I must say, everybody, in the coming weeks, a certain Nordic Beast will be showing up on my show.
So things are happening, things are coming, things have happened. Like I said, we look forward to a wonderful new year with you guys. We look forward to growing the family a little bit, hopefully a lot actually, so that we can continue to bring you some awesome stuff and do more cool shit for you. But yeah, if you like us, if you tolerate us, or if you hate us, share us with your friends or people that you hate and subject them to us too. So
let them hear our train wreck of professionalism, as we say.
There it is.
And
so.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode. Like Larry said, Optional Opinion is on SoundCloud. I too.
You won't order a shitty beef?
You can hear Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, the Anomalous Radio Network.podbean.com, iTunes, Google Play, and other podcast apps. I write on IGN.com under Anime, ENIME, where you'll be able to check my Optional Opinion blogs. Skirmish Frogs is my series called The Moment on there, where I talk about retro games. Twitch is the lyrical one, but Let's Learn. I just did like Titanfall 2, showing it, but I might also join Larry in some games if he wants to have me help him out on World 101, and just make sure that I get him a better mic or camera. Or see how that works.
Yeah, I'm still playing around with the settings on the Kinect just to make shit work, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's an experiment at the moment. So,
did you just get the Kinect, or?
It's being borrowed. Actually, I'm borrowing it, so I'm kind of experimenting to see what works and what doesn't work with that in my setup. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know the headphones that I'm using does the mic thing for the controller. to pick up the mic. I just don't have the Kinect camera or anything like that. Cause I'm just like, who really wants to see me? If they want to see me, just watch all the other 1,000 podcasts that I'm on. But just watch my gameplay and just leave messages and stuff like that. But that would be our show, everybody. Once again, we thank you. Have a happy new year. Be safe. Hopefully 2017 goes better than, I guess 2016. I don't know why people are hoping for that, but I'm like, well, yeah. I'll talk about Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One, next time, because I did go see that. And dude, was the movie theater packed when I went to go see it. It literally was sold out.
Oh, I believe it. I absolutely believe that shit. I do.
Yeah.
But it was hella good.
Yeah, it was good. I actually went on the $5 day. So, that's why I ended up at Applebee's eating a salad. Then when I went to the next showing. Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, that's the show. That's all we got.
Yep, that's all we got.
We will see you back in a week.
Yes, we will. Well, hopefully we'll have a regular show. If not, our Free Woman stereotypical train wreck of professionalism. We'll make fun of somebody. We'll offend somebody, and it'll be all good. But until that, everybody, you can email the show at world11podcast@gmail.com. Also, WORLD11podcast@gmail.com. And with that, we are out. Bye.